So could ask a rhetorical question like, well, what is, what is so businesslike about people dying? Um, you know, um, but we don't want to get too too cute. I think that's a mistake. It's just to get too cute or to get too emotionally involved with like us as the writer's opinion. We just want to state facts. We want to just say this is, we don't want to state a bunch of opinions. I mean, the opinion at the end, the conclusion, you can throw in, a personal opinion, um, and really make some like cogent point or points, and then obviously connecting to the thesis as well. But during the essay, you just want to be like a court reporter, essentially. Um, we could elaborate a bit on this, but I don't think we need to. Red business. Um, I think it still works. So let's go up. So we've got 2 more paragraphs and the conclusion. So let's go here. Yeah, I think it'll probably be around 7 pages. Okay, so then we're going to go to 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. 69, 70. So we could use these. I keep making this mistake. Okay, so an armed race advancing the welcome to battle. No turning. Away. More. Be weeks, months, years. An armed race is advancing to welcome it. Okay. I think you went all the way over to 1. Yeah, 1 and then 5.5. Or just so. And then let's see. I think you can move this over. And I'm really just going to focus on this specific line, or this specific phrase, an armed race. Repeats it. So 62. Here. 3, 4, 5, 6. 67 to 70. 67 to 70. Okay. Now I want to introduce this. So we want to have our transition sentence hook. And let's do the same thing for the last one. So this right now. And then 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 80, 81, 82. And then, yeah, I like using these, especially if it's chronological order. Like using the last quotes. Right, so minus 82. Okay. The work for giants. Yeah, we can use that quote. The work for giants. Yeah. I like that. That's a good quote. Right here. So it's 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74. And then, yep, so that's just the numbers here. Yeah, I just want to make it the same format. Okay, line everything up. So that's at 4. So we got the stuff at 4. Is this 4? No, it's not. There we go, now it's 4. Okay. Okay, so sometimes I would make the transition sentences, I'd create them before the essay. It might actually behoove you to do that. It might be smarter, but I didn't do it this time. But usually, but if you know that you know, if you're doing it in chronological order, I didn't think of it as important since I was using chronological order, so I didn't think it'd be as important. Um, Also, in general, I like to argue something that's pretty obvious um, in terms of the poem, etc., and then just argue it extremely well. So, as opposed to something you have to like really look for, there's only like 3 lines. There's not much there that really support your argument. You know, every line just drips with this like positivity, optimism, effusiveness about war, and really, you know, so it just makes it a lot easier when you're sitting down and trying to write a quality essay and get a good mark. It just makes it a lot easier. So I think this is pretty straightforward. So so here, this hook could be finally at the poem's close. Um, the speaker like uses, right, deploys specific word choices and line breaks. Again, pointing at the thesis, right, word choice and line breaks. To minimize the carnage. So we're using different synonyms, right? Carnage, atrocities, horror, bloodshed. The carnage that is oftentimes aroused during war. Um, and instead emphasizes. So emphasizes, we have used it a lot. I think that emphasizes is, we can mix it up when we revise, but, and instead, aroused during war, and instead emphasizes the nature of this war to bring the people of Manhattan together for a single selfless cause. So that's our hook. So lines so let me use the ampersand. 74 and 80 to 82. Are as follows. So you could say at the poem's close, in line 74 and 80 and 82, I don't like to have a super long sentence that ends with the colon. That's the reason why I'm like thinking about this. So we could say, you know, in line 74, and then this long thing, and then colon. Let's try it. Let's try it. It might work. A lot of this stuff's personal. Um, Usually I like to write a whole sentence and then introduce the quote. But this could work. Yeah, I think if we do it once, since we're only doing it once, I don't think it's a huge deal. It's not my favorite way to structure it, but I think it's decent. Okay, so yeah, I actually want to, for some reason, I want to do this first. So, um, uh, line 74 is blatant and I want to say effusive again, but it's blatant and is blatant and lays bare the speaker's not unyielding because we used that before. The speaker's eager. So you could put a parenthesis. Again, we want to. I don't want to say he or she, so you could say lays bare the speaker's eager support for the war effort, as it is deemed. Again, we don't want to use he or she, right? As it is deemed the work for giants. Um, um, the word choice giants is superlative. Is quite superlative. And moves into the poem's closing lines, where the speaker uses personification when describing so you can say the city of Manhattan. Even giving the words all your children a separate, distinct line. Further emphasizing the connectedness among the city and its people, as well as among its people in general. I could say line 81, but it's a little much. I mean, we've got a lot of quotes, and you know, I don't like to just go crazy on the punctuation, especially disruptive punctuation like parentheses. It's just a little bit much, especially the older you get, or the more rigorous your classes get, or the more, sort of sophisticated your teacher, expects your essay to be. You know, so I think it's okay. I think that for us to, it's right there, and yeah, it's a small point, but it's worth mentioning. But that's why I decided not to put that. It's the speaker concludes the poem by displaying, by ascribing the city itself with a smile. So let's a joyful smile. So we'll bracket this. With a smile. And with a smile and joy. The city itself celebrates I think exulting is like exalting. Let's look it up. I'm pretty good with words, but you learn something every day, especially, hard work and reading and writing. I mean, you learn stuff every day, or you might forget it and then go back and remember it and get it back in your brain again. Exulting. It's kind of like exalting. Um, yeah, it's elation or jubilation. Yeah, that's sort of what I thought it was. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of context, there are a lot of context clues, right? That it's going to be, you know, celebrates. Celebrates enjoy the fact that the city's denizens, the city's masses, are all teaming up or supporting from a distance. Or supporting, or at least supporting the war effort. Here you said joy. Supporting the war effort, which makes an emphatic conclusive which conclusively marks a focus on war's, and again, go back to your thesis, war's ability to bring people together for a cause larger than any one individual. The poem's focus. Nice. All right. Just want to talk about often in peace you are frowning. If this is questioned, conversely, the city is described, the speaker describes the city as covertly frowned when in peace. In line 70, no, line 80. In line 80, which further illustrates, which essentially reminds the reader that the city but that's not a fact, that's just the speaker's opinion. So which is essentially belief, I guess, belief that the city's true nature is more and not peace, or that the city itself as personified here in the poem's closing lines is happier. Domestic spaces are war fighting rather than in peace. All right. I think that's pretty good for that final paragraph, final body paragraph. We'll do this last paragraph, pre-conclusion, the last paragraph before the conclusion, next video, and then we're almost done. So thanks a lot.